Peace, welcome back to Playbook FM. I'm Jay. We're back with part 5 of Creating a Legacy, my journeyman save. So if you missed anything from the previous episode, go back and take a look because we're about to jump back in. So since the last episode, we've gone on another unbeaten run. So again, things aren't looking too bad at the club at the moment. It's just we're doing pretty so-so. In the league, we've done nothing but draw. However, we did get that 3-0 win against Bognor Regis Town. In that match, we did try out a new system. As you can kind of see here on the right, we did try out a 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, however you want to kind of describe this sort of shape down the bottom here. Yes, Bognor Regis were playing the same shape. However, I do just want to show you the goals because we had a few amazing goals from Matt Bower and I can't remember who else. To be fair, Bognor Regis did, there we go, there's that Bower goal. See that first time volley from your centre back on his left foot. But Bognor Regis did get a player sent off in this match, so I can't really say that it was the new shape and new system that gave us this win, but we definitely played well. I also wanted to take a moment to show you the Dorking match, because that is a match where we were playing absolutely brilliantly. Again, playing that new shape, as you can see here on the left. But we conceded an absolute fluke of a goal in the dying minutes of the match. So that was a game we should have won. It was just unfortunate circumstances. So again, I can't really take that out on the players and the system not working well enough. But you'll see here, the ball just kind of clatters off the back of Bramley and it goes down as a Bramley own goal, which is a little bit harsh, I believe, but you know, that's the way the cookie crumbled for that match. So we are looking a bit better in this shape. So guys, we are going to play our first ever big derby match in Creating a Legacy. Surely that's worth a thumbs up, so please give this video a thumbs up for it being our first derby. But as you can see, we are playing that same shape again here today. Not making too many changes from the last match, and as you can see, Matt Bower does get a start. In fact, you can't see that, so I'm going to break down the starting 11 for you. So, starting 11 for this big derby match. Ryan Clark in goal, Dan Ball, Alex Hartridge and Matt Bower as a back three. Joe Rayness and Connor Riley-Lowe playing as wing backs today. Tom Smith, Harry and Tom Richards played in mid three with Ryan Brunt and Andy Watkins up front. Let's get into the match. And you might have noticed there in the starting 11 lineup thing that Ryan Brunt is in pretty good form at the moment. He is starting to score some goals, so we are getting more out of the strikers today. And as you can see, the journalists are hyping up the derby match. I'm going to quickly do the tunnel interview and then skip ahead to the match. So kick-off time in our first derby match. So it turns out that Chippenham Town are like a local rivalry, it seems. So we'll see if my my mind games in the press conferences before the match pay off at all. But Riley-Lowe cuts out across there and it falls the ball. We just kind of break up the first attack. However, Chippenham Town are back with a throw-in deep in our half. And they're just kind of knocking the ball around outside the area. Take a wayward shot, but... well, the same, but really and truly, I would only expect kind of a league football team or league football standard strikers to be scoring from them ranges there in that time. But the ball, we're just knocking it around a little bit, which is always fantastic to see. We find Rayness out on the right wing. And I don't know, Rayness had a little spell of good form recently, and then he's just kind of dropped back down. He's so inconsistent. And I think that that's just a general theme amongst either the team itself or lower league teams. I don't know. But to be fair, I've only managed to make 3 signings so far this season. And none of them are kind of really impact players. Obviously, we signed Nathan Baxter thinking he'd be a starter at centre-back, but he's just been in terrible form, so he's been dropped completely. And if I could get some money to purchase players, well, I was going to say in January, but obviously in league football there's no specific transfer window as such. You can just kind of bring players in whenever. So if we get some funds, that would be awesome. And I'm hoping that our performance in the FA Cup continues, because we have won both qualifying matches we've played so far and gotten, I think in total, about 17k from those matches, which comes in handy, especially considering, I think, before the last FA Cup match, our overall balance was 5k. I think the wage bill going over the budget, is kind of bleeding the club a little bit. So if we could get a cup run, that would be awesome. And this first half, I'm not really happy with what's going on out there. There's nothing really happening, to be fair. Matt Bower, there is a lot more to come from you, but ugh. Nope, they're not having it. My centre-backs are stressed after me saying that I'm not happy. So I'm going to have to bring on Nathan Baxter, who, as I was mentioning earlier, is not playing great either. So I do have a fear now, like as soon as I made that substitution, just instant regret, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I don't know, could you say going into half-time 0-0 is broke, or is it a good thing? I feel as if we can and should get a result in this match today. I don't know. To be fair, I always feel we can get a result. And Conor Riley-Lowe is looking pretty tired. And I don't really have another left wing back to get on. Not even like a left winger. In fact, let's take a look at Bollard. If his tackling was any higher, I would kind of just force him back there. In fact, hang on. How do I check how convincing he is at that specific role? Here we go. Yeah, he's not even got like... Nah. I'm not going to risk it. Riley Lowe's just going to have to stay on the pitch a little bit longer until I figure out who to bring on. I could bring on Alex Harper, but 1, he's not in form, and 2, he's makeshift at best at a right wing back. So to do it on the left, I don't know, man. I don't know. But Riley Lowe is struggling a little bit by the looks of things. Oh, my word. Nah. Something's got to change at the back, because we did, like, just let them in a little bit there. My heart stopped as soon as I saw that highlight. And again, we kind of demonstrating our weaknesses at the back a little bit in that situation. But in terms of the new shape and tactics, I think that I've got the player roles figured out. It's just finding the right players that can do the jobs like perfectly and naturally. And I am just trying to pretend that I didn't see Chippenham Town score a goal in the 81st minute from a corner. Literally, my head was in my hands. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And we are now 1-0 down with 10 minutes left. And we're just going to have to go all out. Oh my goodness. I'm probably going to have to take the blame for that by not starting our better goalkeeper. But Ryan Clark has been in better form lately. And he is the more consistent of the two. But for a big match like this, you probably got to just go with your best players. I think that's the biggest lesson I'm going to take away from this match today. In the big matches, you have to play your best players. You just have to. And Ryan Brunt, oh my goodness, in the dying minutes, he shuts me up. Oh my gosh, what an equaliser right at the death. Let's take another look at that. Harry plays the free kick in. Chippenham Town don't clear it very well at all. Ryan Brunt just sticks a head on it. And as I said at the start of the episode, he's been in tremendous form lately, and he's proving it here now. And Chippenham Town do have a corner. I'm going to shut up and go to very defensive, because I think in my ecstasy we might concede, because I've just completely switched off. But what an equaliser right at the death. And we secure a point away from home in our first big rivalry match. Oh my goodness. I am very, very pleased with that. No, I am happy with what I saw. There are positives. Namely, that Ryan Brunt equaliser. Wow, what a start to the episode. Right, let's skip ahead to our next FA Cup match. Right, so we are back for the FA Cup game against Hendon. As you can see, we have slightly changed the shape a little bit. Just so we can fit in Owara Edwards, to be honest, more than anything. Because as you can see, we can't really play him at the wing-back position, but he's in amazing form and he's always dangerous on the right wing. If you could play right wing-back a little bit, I would have stuck with the same shape. However, as it stands, the starting 11 for today's match is Max Bramley makes a return in goal, with Alex Hartridge, Jack Batten and Matt Bower as a back three, Joe Reynes and Conor Riley-Lowe as wing-backs, with Tom Richards, Frankie Arturs in midfield, Owara Edwards, Dylan Bollard and Ryan Brunt up front. Let's get into the match. So, considering that Hendon are like a weaker team, like a few divisions down as per our last FA Cup qualification match, I figure it's a good time to kind of experiment a little bit, because after this, the FA Cup games are only going to get harder, and something does have to give a little bit, something does have to change. So we've tried gambling a little bit and experimenting in the league, and it's costing us league position. Well, it's dropping us points, really and truly. So I believe this is the kind of match that we should be experimenting in. We should win regardless, he says so early on into the match. But Ryan Brunt is in here with a shot that clatters off of the Hendon defence. So I've just changed the player instructions and roles just a little bit in the midfield, just to get the centre midfielders playing their natural roles. So maybe that kind of will get us a bit more results, because the style of play seems to be working. It's just literally the players. We're getting no real consistency, and that probably is because I'm playing guys out of their natural, comfortable roles. So I'm hoping that this will change things up a little bit. However, that being said, we don't really have any natural wing-backs at the club or any natural inside forwards. Owara Edwards is just in amazing form because he's in amazing form. Not really much to do with the player role is set to. He is more natural at a winger on attack, so I do wonder if playing him as a winger would be the way to go, and maybe we'd get more goals out of him that way. However, we are on the attack here, and in the first 20 minutes we have been all over them pretty much, so I think we might just move up a little bit to a positive mentality as they start off with the goal kick, but we win it back in midfield, play Edwards in, who takes a wild shot, and that right there might be why we should be playing him as a winger. Maybe I'll probably change that within the next kind of 10 minutes or so and just kind of see how he plays as a winger for the second half. And we've allowed Hendon in behind here, and at their first shot and first look at goal, they make it count. As you can see, it's a big ball over the top, and we just do a poor job of trying to head the ball clear in that situation, and we'd let them in one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and it is a goal. Look at that, one shot, one on target, and it's a goal. And we are playing, we're not playing great, granted, but we don't deserve to be losing. We really don't. We've been all over them this first half. And there's a big ball over the top to Ryan Brunt, who takes a massive strike at the ball from outside the box, and it's an amazing goal for an equaliser. What a goal! Hang on, let's take a look at that again. So this time we managed to cut out the big ball over the top. Jack Batten just hoofs it up forward to Ryan Brunt, who takes a couple of touches. He's got a defender right next to him. He has no right to pull that off. Absolutely none. But what a goal it is. And like that, we are right back in the match. Instant response. And we start again with a corner. Ryan Brunt gets his head on it. And it's his second goal of the match. Second goal in like 5 minutes as well. What form he's come into. So, oh my goodness. Let's take a look at that again. Bollard plays the ball towards the back post. Ryan Brunt is the first to the ball and heads it home. Wow. Wow. What a response to going 1-0 down. I didn't even have to say anything. And like that, there we almost let them back in for their own equaliser. But you can kind of see the point I'm making. We aren't playing bad at all. It's just we're not consistent. We're really not consistent, and especially at the back, which is something we do need to urgently address as was that Bollard takes the shot, but he does earn us a corner. Arturs with the corner, plays it in towards the 6-yard box. It falls back out to Arturs, who crosses it. It doesn't beat the first man. Batten, was that a cross? It was a pretty terrible cross. But we are still looking dangerous. And I do wonder if, because we've now got that ball-winning midfielder, if we are just kind of getting a bit more opportunities to counter-attack because we are winning the ball in midfield. Maybe. I'll probably watch a full game offline where I watch the full match, I'll probably watch a full match offline and just kind of see what is happening in midfield with these changes. But we're going to half-time, 1 goal up, and it's... Oh, whoops, pressed the wrong button because I'm too busy trying to fill the noise. Too busy trying to fill the silence. And I think the FA Cup spectacle has got the better of me there. I can't believe I just bottled the half-time team talk. Oh, wow. But we play the ball out to Edwards on the right wing, who does try to cross, but earns a free kick, a throw-in instead. And in fact, on the subject of Edwards, I am going to change him to a winger on attack for this second half and just see how that changes things, if it does change things. And we do manage to break up the attack there. And Hendon do have to play the ball back to their defence, but it's a big ball over the top, but this time we deal much better with it. I think after receiving that goal, we've kind of woken up a little bit at the back and kind of are a bit more aware to those long balls. We know how to cut them out, it seems. However, every time I talk about defenders, we do end up conceding, so I'm going to nip that in the bud. Bloody commentator's curse. And I only just realised I had Rayner set as an inverted wing-back this entire match. Let's change him back to a wing-back and see if he improves his performance a little bit, because at the moment he is playing really, really poorly. And Riley Lowe is exhausted and we've got nobody we can bring on for him. We are so shallow with our team depth. It's ridiculous. These are the kind of matches you want to be rotating, but we can't even rotate well because we are so limited in our options. So going on a bit of an FA Cup run is in our own best interest, to be fair, because if we can get some money, I'm sure the board would free up some funds to reinvest in the club, because there was a point earlier on in the season where we did manage to get, I think, 4k worth of transfer funds, and I don't think that was from a player sale either. But we also do need to free up some wage bills as Frankie Arturs scores his first goal of the season. He is, funnily enough, one of the players we do have transfer listed. So if you can put in a couple more decent performances, and if we can get a bit of coin for him, then that would go a long way in reducing the wage bill and in getting more funds into the club, and hopefully allow us to bring in some better options. We are currently taking a look at a striker from Bristol Rovers, I think, looking at bringing him in as a potential loan signing. but I do think our problems mainly lie at the back, as Hendon take a shot which hits the crossbar. We begin again with a goal kick, and it doesn't get past the Hendon midfield, but we do eventually win it back. And it falls to Arthurs, who plays it back to Boa, who finds Brunt, who takes the touch and just kind of lays it off to Watkins. I think playing Brunt as the target man is the way to go. Moving forward, because as you can see, he's winning everything in the air. He's coming deep to get touches on the ball and lay it off to his teammates, which is what we wanted him to do, playing as a deep lying forward in the first place. So I think maybe the target man is the better option for this system, or with this group of players really. Between the two, a target man and the deep lying forward, that's what we want to have in this system, because as you can see, we're retaining possession well, and this is the quote-unquote counter-attacking system that we are playing, just so that we're a little bit surer at the back. And Ryan Brunt there again, almost scoring with a header, and he's on a brace. I do want him to get a hat-trick, but he is tiring a little bit, so I think after this corner we are going to make a sub. This is his last opportunity to get his hat-trick here, and I'm just going to have to bring on Ashley Harper at that wing-back position, even though he cannot play there in the slightest. And Arthurs now just holding up the ball a little bit on the corner, just wasting a bit of time, plays it into the back post, looking for Brunt. He's trying to get him his hat-trick too, he knows it's about to come off, but Brunt gets his applaud off the field and does get a little bit of rest, because we are going to need him in the league, because we only are about, I think, 5 points out of a playoff position, and Man is in behind here but misses the one-on-one. But yeah, we will check the league positioning after this match, just so we know what we're dealing with when we come back. But yeah, I do think we're only like 5 points outside of a playoff position, so a couple of wins and we're there. Oh my word, what a goal from Adam, man! The power of playing a target man, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley Harper, let's take a look. Ashley Harper plays the cross in from the left wing with his right foot and finds Man, who hits it first time on the volley. What a tremendous goal. And again, I think Andy Mann is somebody that we have transfer listed, so I'm hoping that this FA Cup performance, Adam Mann, I hope that this FA Cup performance that him and Arthurs have put on will spark some interest and bring us in some coin to the club, because we do desperately need to reinvest. We've not really got much in the way of under 18s as well that we can kind of bring in. I don't think, anyway. I've not really checked the younger squads. I probably should do that at some point, just so that we can bring in some aspect of rotation and really kind of test if this system works in these FA Cup games. But as I say, from here on out, it's only going to get harder. I think somebody let me know in the comments how many FA Cup qualifying rounds there are. I'm not entirely sure, if I'm honest. But we are in with another chance here, and Andy Watkins does convert it for the 5th Bath City goal, his 2nd goal of the season, and I think that's his first goal starting. His first goal coming from the right wing position. I almost said he started as a right winger, but he really didn't. And what a goal that is for a 5-1 victory against Hendon. And I must admit, after conceding that first goal, I did think that we were in for a bit of trouble and it was going to go down as another flop. But yeah, this match has been pretty successful, and we are going to keep this shape and these player roles in the next match as well, and just kind of see if maybe we've seemed to have cracked the code with Bath City finally. It's only taken us 5 episodes? Yikes. But hey, it's still before January, and if we find form before January, that is a massive, massive plus. And as the commentary down the bottom says, what a Bath City performance. Oh, I don't know why I'm bottling these team talks. I'm not even thinking them through, but it is a very very solid victory, and we have been awarded almost 20k for that. Let's give him a bit of praise just to cool any things over. Right, let's check the league standings. So we're 13th on 19 points. So 6 points outside of the playoff position. But to be fair, the board are happy with anything over 11th place, I would imagine. Mid-table. They want us to finish in the top half, so anywhere around here, and we're good. So we're only really 3 points away. Well, no, we're 1 point behind Wilson, who are 11th. So 1 or 2 good performances, and we should shoot right back up the league. And you guys should shoot right back for the next episode tomorrow. If you've made it this far, please leave a thumbs up. And I'll catch you in the next episode, guys. Peace.